Today I am going to tell you about metabolism. As we know, all living organisms require energy to drive life processes. Metabolism is the process of transforming foodstuffs into energy and into tissue elements for the growth, repair and general function of the body. It comprises all of the chemical reactions that take place in a living system. Metabolic reactions are almost all enzyme catalyzed and include transformation of energy and nutrients, synthesis and degradation and excretion of waste products. A metabolic pathway consists of a sequence of steps by which a metabolite is synthesized, degraded or transformed. The molecules of the pathway are called intermediates because the products of one reaction become the substrates of the next. The metabolic pathways may be linear, for example glycolysis, may be branched, for example hexose monophosphate shunt pathway, or it may be cyclic, for example Krebs cycle. All these metabolic pathways have three important characteristics in common. First one is metabolic pathways are irreversible. Second one is metabolic pathways have committed steps. And third one is metabolic pathways are regulated. Metabolism can be divided into two parts. First one is catabolism, that is degradative reaction, and second one is anabolism, that is synthetic reaction. Both catabolism and anabolism involve hundreds of different reactions and all interconnected in a giant network. Most metabolic intermediates can be converted to several compounds by reactions that proceed along with different paths. Therefore, interconversion between major nutrients occur readily. Carbohydrates can yield proteins, proteins can form lipids and so on. Now, let me first define about catabolism. Catabolism is a process of metabolism where in the complex chemicals are broken down into simpler forms, usually with the release of energy, you can say ATP, and byproducts such as water, carbon dioxide and ammonia. It consists of three stages. In the first stage, polymeric nutrients break down to small monomeric building blocks. In animals, this stage comprises digestion, in which macromolecules such as carbohydrates, proteins and lipids are degraded to respectively monosaccharide, principally glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and glycerol. In the second stage, produces only a few different types of molecules. These products, mainly pyruvate and acetate, have simpler structures. Acetate enters the metabolism in the form of acetyl coenzyme A. In the third stage, this acetyl coenzyme A enters the citric acid cycle, where its acetyl group is oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. Now, let us see about the catabolism of carbohydrate. Since all carbohydrates are transformed into glucose, so it is essentially glucose metabolism. Glucose is catabolized in four pathways. Number 1, glycolysis. Number 2, citric acid cycle. Number 3, electron transport system and oxidative phosphorylation. And number 4, pentose phosphate pathway. Let me briefly explain first about the glycolysis. Glycolysis is an anaerobic degradative pathway leading to conversion of one molecule of glucose to two molecules of pyruvate and capture of limited amount of energy in the form of ATP. In aerobic organisms, pyruvic acid is completely oxidized to carbon dioxide and water molecule through the TCA cycle and the electron transfer chain. But if the supply of oxygen is insufficient, this pyruvic acid is converted to lactic acid. In case of yeast, this pyruvic acid is converted into ethanol. So, Conversion of glucose to lactic acid or ethanol is known as anaerobic condition because there is no net oxidation, but its complete oxidation to carbon dioxide and water molecule in the presence of molecular oxygen is known as respiration. Sequence of glucose to pyruvate is unchanged whether oxygen is present or absent. Now, glycolytical pathway consists of two stages. Stage 1 represents the energy consuming stage that accomplish the conversion of one molecule of glucose that contains 6 carbons to 2 molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate contain 3 carbon. This stage includes 2 ATP requiring reactions. Stage 2 represents an energy generating stage that accomplish the conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate that contain 3 carbons to pyruvate also contain 3 carbons. This stage includes 2 ATP yielding reactions, synthesis of ATP in coupled to cleavage of energy rich bonds in 2 glycolytical intermediates. Now, summing up the 10 reaction of stage 1 and 2 yields the overall reaction for glycolysis under aerobic condition. Glucose plus 2 NAD plus 2 ADP plus 2 phosphate that is converted into 2 pyruvate, 2 ATP plus 2 NADH plus 2 H plus. Under anaerobic condition, glucose plus 2 ADP plus 2 phosphate that is converted into 2 lactate plus 2 ATP. Karl and Gerty-Cori described a cycle referred as a Cori cycle, which involves interplay of muscle, blood and liver. Muscle glycolysis converts glucose to lactate, which is carried by blood to the liver, where it is reoxidized to pyruvate. Gluconeogenesis converts pyruvate to glucose using a liver ATP as a source of energy, and the blood transport the glucose back to the muscle tissue. Up to here, we saw that in glycolysis pathway, how glucose is converted into pyruvic acid with the simultaneous production of ATP. Now, we will see the second pathway of catabolism of carbohydrate, that is citric acid cycle. We use the term citric acid cycle because this citrate is the first compound produced in the cyclic set of reaction. The pathway is also known as the Krebs cycle in honor of Hans Krebs, who proposed it in 1937, awarded Nobel Prize in 1953. This citric acid cycle has 3 major roles. First one is, it is a central oxidative pathway by which all nutrients such as the carbohydrates, lipids and proteins are catabolized in aerobic condition. Second one is, it is an important source of intermediates for a large number of anabolic pathways leading to the biosynthesis of a variety of molecules. Third one is, it is the main source of metabolic energy which derives from the oxidation reduction steps of the cycle and their linkages to the electron transport system. Pyruvate, that is the end product of glycolysis, moves across the mitochondrial membrane into the matrix. Pyruvate dehydrogenase, a multi-enzyme complex located in mitochondrial matrix, then catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A. The citric acid cycle consists of a series of 8 reactions taking place in mitochondrial matrix. Initiation of each round of cycle involves the entrance of a molecule of acetyl-CoA, which condenses with oxaloacetate to form citrate. A key feature of this citric acid cycle consists of 4 oxidation reduction reaction catalyzed by specific dehydrogenases that use either nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide oxidized or flavin adenine dinucleotide as a coenzyme. As the metabolite undergo oxidation, the coenzymes undergo reduction. In these reactions, coenzyme functions as a second substrate. The protons and electrons derived from metabolites reduce NAD plus and FAD to NADH and FADH2. Summing up 8 reactions of citric acid cycle yield the following overall reaction: acetyl-CoA plus 3 NAD plus FAD plus 2 H2O plus GDP plus phosphate, that is converted into CoA-SH plus 3 NADH plus 2H plus FADH2 plus GTP plus 2 carbon dioxide. When we include conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA, the overall reaction becomes pyruvate plus 4 NAD plus FAD plus 2 H2O plus GDP plus phosphate, that is converted into 4 NADH plus 2H plus FADH2 plus GTP plus 3 carbon dioxide. Now, we will see the third pathway, that is electron transport system. From NADH and FADH2, the abstracted hydride ions and protons are transferred to other redox coenzymes and specially components that function as a consecutive electron carriers. The electrons flow through this chain of carriers to oxygen. The entire array of specific enzymes, coenzymes and other components constitute the electron transport chain. In eukaryotes, the electron transport chain is located in the inner mitochondrial membrane. The mitochondrial electron transport chain consists of 5 groups of biological electron carriers. Number 1. Pyridine linked dehydrogenases. Number 2. Flavin linked dehydrogenases, and number 3. Iron sulfur proteins. Number 4. Coenzyme Q, or you can say ubiquinone, and number 5. Cytochromes. Let us see the first one, pyridine linked dehydrogenases. The membrane of this class of enzymes required NAD plus or NADP as a coenzyme. They catalyzes the transfer of 2 electrons in the form of hydride ion. The pyridine nucleotides are non-covalently and relatively loosely bound to the dehydrogenases. They are not fixed, they are dissociate. So, they serve as a dissociable carriers of electrons. Number 2. Flavin linked dehydrogenases. NADH, which is carrying 2 electrons from this substrate, is reoxidized to NAD in the respiratory chain. This reaction is catalyzed by NADH dehydrogenases, which contain tightly bound FMN as its prosthetic group. So, this FMN is simultaneously reduced to FMNH2. Flavin linked dehydrogenases differ from pyridine linked dehydrogenases in that flavin nucleotide is very tightly bound to the enzyme protein and thus does not leave the enzyme during and after the catalytic cycle. Number 3. Iron sulfur protein. These iron sulfur proteins have also been found in plants, microorganisms and animal tissues. In the mitochondrial chain from NADH to oxygen, there appear to be at least 7 different iron sulfur centers located in NADH dehydrogenase cytochrome B and cytochrome C. Their precise function is not known, though they are very important in electron transport. Number 4, coenzyme Q or ubiquinone. This coenzyme Q is a lipid-soluble electron-carrying coenzyme. Also participate in the transport of electrons from the organic substrate to oxygen in the respiratory chain. It serves as highly mobile carrier of electrons between the fluoroproteins and the cytochromes of the electron transport chain. And number 5, cytochromes. Electrons of reduced coenzyme Q are transferred to cytochromes. Cytochromes are electrons transporting protein which contain heme prosthetic group. There are 5 types of cytochromes in the electron transport chain: cytochrome A, cytochrome A3, cytochrome B, cytochrome C and cytochrome C1. They transport the electrons in the order of coenzyme Q, cytochrome B, cytochrome C1, cytochrome C, cytochrome A plus A3 and molecular oxygen. Carefully fragmentation of inner mitochondrial membrane site of electron transport chain has yielded a number of macromolecular aggregates that have the capacity to carry out the specific portion of the entire sequence. They have characterized 4 such functional assemblies called respiratory complexes. Each complex represents a multi-enzyme system that catalyzes a number of consecutive reactions. These electrons flow through 3 of these transmembrane complexes: 1, 3, 4, or you can say 2, 3 and 4, leads to a proton pumping across the mitochondrial membrane. The resultant proton gradient drives ATP synthesis, but actually this ATP synthesis occurs at the active site of the enzyme ATP synthase. Now, oxidative phosphorylation. Free energy released during the operation of electron transport system drives the synthesis of ATP. We call the combined reaction as a oxidative phosphorylation. In the respiratory chain, the transfer of electrons is coupled with the formation of ATP from ADP and phosphate at the expense of the energy yielded by electron transfer to the oxygen. ATP is formed at 3 sites as the electrons flow through the respiratory chain from NADH to oxygen. Site 1 is between NADH and coenzyme Q. Site 2 is between cytochrome B and cytochrome C, and site 3 is between cytochrome A and molecular oxygen. Thus, the oxidation of NADH through the respiratory chain produces 3 ATP, whereas the oxidation of FADH2 in respiratory chain produces 2 ATP. Similarly, if the electrons are transferred directly to cytochrome C, only 1 ATP is formed. The maximum yield of carbohydrate metabolism would be glucose to pyruvate in glycolysis produce 2 ATP, 2 NADH plus H plus from glycolysis via electron transport system produce 6 ATP, 2 NADH plus H plus from pyruvate to acetyl-CoA via electron transport system produce 6 ATP, and 2 acetyl-CoA in citric acid cycle produce 24 ATP. So, the total ATP production is 38. Now, we will see the 4th pathway of catabolism of carbohydrate, that is pentose phosphate pathway. The pentose phosphate pathway, a second major catabolic pathway of carbohydrates, represent an alternative mechanism for glucose degradation. The pathway occurs in the cytoplasm of animals, plants and bacterial cells. The pentose phosphate pathway comprises a cyclic set of reactions that effects the oxidation of glucose 6-phosphate to carbon dioxide and inorganic phosphate and leads to production of large amount of reduced nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. This NADPH serves as reducing agent for metabolic systems requiring reduction such as photosynthesis, fatty acid biosynthesis and conversion of ribonucleotides to deoxyribonucleotides. It is a source of carbohydrates of different structures, for example 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 carbon skeleton. So, here we saw that how carbohydrate is catabolized and produce energy.